On Friday night, the town of Newtown, Connecticut gathered to remember their fallen. It was just 10 hours earlier the first calls of distress came in this normally quiet town.
Sandy Hook School. Caller's indicating she thinks there's someone shooting in the building. Okay, these units in the school, I got bodies here.
The Sandy Hook Elementary School, what has been described as a little country school in southern Connecticut, had become a scene of carnage.
They did search every nook and cranny.
By the time police mobilized, 20 children, all between the ages of 5 and 10, and 6 adults, were already shot. The gunman dead of a self-inflicted gunshot.
We all huddled, and I kept hearing these booming noises.
I smelled smoke, then bullets whizzed by.
Equally frightened parents were left to explain the impossible.
There was a masked man came in and just started shooting.
18 students were pronounced dead at the scene.
The shootings did take place in one section of the school in 2 rooms.
2 others were taken to hospitals and later pronounced dead. The shooter has been identified as 20-year-old Adam Lanza, whose mother Nancy Lanza worked at the elementary school. It is believed that Lanza first shot and killed his mother at her Newtown home before driving to the school in his mother's black Honda, carrying at least 2 semi-automatic pistols and an assault rifle. Lanza's older brother, 24-year-old Ryan, a Hoboken, New Jersey resident, was taken in for questioning by police, as seen in this CBS video. He has since been released. Officials say he is not a suspect. At 3:15, a visibly shaken President Obama addressed the nation, at times finding it hard to remain composed.
They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
The president echoing the grief and emotion of a nation and another small town rocked by violent tragedy.
That was awful.
This is an NBC News special report.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Lauer alongside Savannah Guthrie. We're in Newtown, Connecticut, where we are now awaiting a news conference at any moment dealing with the subject of Friday's massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Officials are expected to release new details about the second deadliest school shooting in American history.
Here's the latest information we have at the moment. 27 people in all were killed during this rampage, 20 of them young children at the school. And here are the officers to give us the latest
that we've made in this investigation. With me is the Chief of Police from Newtown, the Field Operations Commander of State Police, and my counterpart here from Newtown Police Department. As you know, the victims have been positively identified by the Office of the Chief State's Medical Examiner. They're still in the process of doing some of their work, and as soon as that work is completed, we will be prepared to release in writing to you a formal list of names, birth dates, and information. There is one, there's a couple major factors. Number one, when we release that list, and we would ask you again, as we did yesterday, at the request of all of the family members, they have asked for you to please respect their privacy. They're going through, as I know you understand, a very difficult and trying time. We have, in fact, under the auspices of the chief and the colonel, reassigned and continue to assign a trooper to these folks to help to maintain that solitude. So again, I would ask you, and I'm pleading with you, as you know, this is an extremely heartbreaking, difficult thing for these folks to endure, to please abide by their requests. In addition, for the townspeople in the town of Newtown, a crisis intervention team from Yale New Haven Hospital has been established here in the community, and they can be reached via telephone. That telephone number is 203-270-4283. And again, they're open and they're available to anyone in the community who may have the need to discuss, to talk, to talk about this incident in its entirety. I have the ability to take some questions. I just simply want you to understand that we still have major crime detectives and Newtown detectives working at the scene in the school. That is not completed. That probably will not be completed for at least another day and a half to 2 days. And I'm putting a time limit on it, and it could take longer. As I explained to you in previous press conferences, we've done everything we need to do to literally peel back the onion layer by layer, okay, and examine every crack and crevice of that facility. And that does not include, or exclude, I should say, the outside of the building. The outside of the building is also part of the crime scene, every single vehicle in that lot. So it's going to be a long, painstaking process. We actually have 3 teams now, 3 major crime teams in the community. Our local partners are working with us, and we're going to move that and expedite that along as quickly as possible. We had a meeting this morning, and that was a delay with the superintendent of schools. She will be hopefully in the not too distant future up here to talk briefly about some of the issues that she has encountered. The minute the medical examiner is done, and I mean that sincerely, the minute he is done, he is coming here, and we will again provide all the detailed information, or as much detailed information as we can, relative to the work that his office did both overnight and continue to do as we speak. Again, as far as actual specific questions, I'll take a few, but I have to tell you, all right, there are certain things that were just simply cards that we're holding close to our chest in this investigation so nothing's taken out of context, and we have continuity of all the information that we provide. Yes, sir.
Well, there were reports that there were other guns other than what he used found in the school. Are those reports accurate?
No, that's not accurate. The weaponry that was recovered by our investigators recovered in close proximity of the deceased. And again, we're investigating the history of each and every weapon, and we will know every single thing about those weapons. And I know follow-up questions are legally registered, who are the owners, and so on and so forth. That's all being done by the investigator that's assigned to that task.
Is the shooter Adam Lanza?
Yeah, we're going to allow the medical examiner. We're going to wait for the medical examiner to come in and provide the identities of the shooter, of all the deceased in this investigation.
Lieutenant, have you found any writings, any emails, any messages that would enlighten you as to what his motive was?
That certainly is a fair, good question. The answer I can give you on that is that our investigators at the crime scene, the school, and secondarily at the secondary crime scene that we discussed, where the female was located deceased, did produce some very good evidence in this investigation that our investigators will be able to use in hopefully painting the complete picture as to how, and more importantly, why this occurred.